Hi guys, HT625MA here, and today's video will be about SimChair Mark IV cyclic bass. So I have finally finished working on it and also adjusted some code for B8 grip. I improved it quite a lot. It's a lot cleaner now. And also I've changed some functions of the cyclic. So let's talk about what's different from Mark III version. Let's start from most important stuff. So obviously the most important change from Mark III to Mark IV is that we now have precise metallic axes, which are which have only 0.2 millimeter of clearance between the axis and the bearing, sometimes even less, so it's a very tight fit. That allows us to completely eliminate the mechanical jitter. This and the fact that we now have twice more bearings per axis, so actually we have 4 bearings per axis, so 8 bearings in total here. And the mechanical jitter is next to none because of that, because additional bearings help to fight the jitter inside of the bearing itself. So this way it's very stable. Another very important difference is that we have now 2 bolts protruding out of our stick connector part here and here. That means that our stick won't be turning like that anymore when you haven't touched it for a while and maybe this nuts got loose slightly. So it's rock steady. I've tested it for more than a month. Basically it stayed attached and nothing bad happened with it. So it's really strong and really precise. Another difference is that in Mark III they had an option for trim reset and also an option for sensitivity switching. So they had this for sensitivity switching and a separate button for trim reset. So the head switch click switched between 100% sensitivity and 80% sensitivity, and this was called an extreme precision mode. But now I've changed it, so now we have this nice panel here, which is a nice addition because now we have this port here, which is called the ADC AUX. So we have 2 spare ports, analog inputs on our ADC here in cyclic bass. So I decided to use it for adjusting the rates and sensitivity of cyclic and pedals. So basically these 2 ports do just that. They have 9 positions of various sensitivity settings. So basically from 80% to 120% here. The white marks are on 100% settings. So the head switch click here now resets the trim, which is logical because it's a button. Reset the trim, the button. That's good because the sensitivity switching with a single button click was not really intuitive, and also we could have only two positions, or it would have become a mess. The cool thing also that before some recent changes we haven't been able to set sensitivity to more than 100% value, but now we can. You can also assign your own sensitivity values to each of these positions. So it's really cool. If you ask me which is the recommended default, I'd say start with 100%, then move your stick in the cockpit and look if your physical stick moves in the same way as your stick in the cockpit. If not, simply adjust it. For example, I like to fly with 80% sensitivity, which for example corresponds to Brett's Hughes 500 movements on screen. So another change, which is quite minor, but I find it quite nice, is we have other softer springs here. I found it better than with springs I've used for Mark III. These springs are honestly quite hard to find outside Russia, so you can always order those from me, or you can just use your own springs. Just remember, at first try using the softest ones you can find. The softest ones that could hold the stick upright. So all the functions of Mark III, like force trim that works with cyclic and pedals, it's all there. It works great. Everything is still there. The grip still supports half press and full press. You can still send keyboard presses with it to use your TeamSpeak or something like that. So not much changes here. So now let's look how it flies in Brett's Hughes 500, because I've tried it only recently and I really liked this machine. It's epic. So let's look at it. So this is the second part of the video, and we're sitting in the beautiful Hughes 500, which is an absolute joy to fly, and we'll be trying our SimChair Mark IV cyclic in flight now. So in the first part of the video I forgot to tell you about another nice feature, which is software filtering, and I will show you how it works a bit later. It's the new fast filtering option, which implements EMA filtering, which doesn't affect input lag too much. So right now it is disabled, so you will see how it works without any additional software filtering. Cyclic rates, cyclic and pedal rates are set to 100%. So we'll change it later in this video and look at different settings. So first thing I want to do is I want to reset my force trim setting. And then I want to center my pedals with force trim. Done. Wow. So let's take off. Sorry, it looks like yeah, it's better now. I'm quite new to this machine, so I apologize for any, weird maneuvers that may take place here in this video. But this one is all about, showcase of the new cyclic rather than about realism and flying. I'm using the latest X-Plane 1140 beta, which at the moment I believe is beta 4. So it has introduced few cool new effects, which made helicopters a lot more challenging and interesting to fly and X-Plane. Like for example, the VRS is now working, and some sideways drift when you trying to gain some speed. At least the latter is slightly more pronounced than it was before. I believe they're still fiddling with various settings, but it feels very interesting already. So you can see that it is very precise and flyable at 100%. Yeah, nice house. Let's land near it. And it has some nice concrete driveway thing. Alright, so you can see that it's really precise at 100% without any software filtering. It feels great, it flies great. Now let's have a look at different sensitivity settings. So at first let's look at 80% for how do I check which setting do I need. First I can just check if I like how it flies. If I'm having some troubles with controlling it, if I feel it's too sluggish or too sensitive, I can always adjust it to my liking, just because, well, everybody's stick's length and physical, parameters are different, like length of arms, legs, and everything. So you can always adjust this to your liking. It's this thing can be very useful for it, this little panel here. So or you can look at your stick movements on the screen and try to find some similar rate of movement. So actually I feel that my pedals are more sensitive than they are on the screen, so I adjust it to 80%. Let's try the same setting with cyclic. So you can see that my stick touches my leg here and here, so rate is the same roughly. So because I changed now my sensitivity setting, I now want to reset my force trim and retrim my pedals again. It's done. Now let's look how it behaves at 80% setting. It was great. So you can see that there's no issues related to precision at all. It's really precise. I remind you that this stick was attached for a while now, and it went through a lot of testing, and its precision is still perfect. What about landing here? Alright, so that's cool. Let's try setting the maximum stick sensitivity 120%. I will reset my dream again and set it again. Let's look if it will be flyable at this setting. So no precision issues as well, and it's much more sensitive, much more than on the screen. You can see I'm barely moving my physical stick, but the stick on the screen touches my virtual leg. But here actually not so much, not at all. There's quite a lot of space. So you may want it if your stick is mounted on the floor, for example. You can see it's very flyable at any sensitivity setting, so you can just pick one you find most comfortable to use. Or you can assign your totally other setting that you prefer. For example, 150% or 70%. You can assign it to any position of the pod. You again. So You can see flash great at 120% as well. Now let's look at how it works with filtering. I will set it back to 80%, which is, you know, my preferred value for sensitivity, and I will try. Yeah, I have to pause my simulation, and then I will flash my SimChair with reconfigured firmware. So here we have XY filtering enabled. We set it to 1, and now we'll flash it. Flashing is successful. I unpaused the simulation. Okay, now we have filtering enabled. Let's look how it flies with filtering. I will adjust my pedals at first. Alright, so as you can see, it's as good as, you know, without it. Control's response may seem, you know, just a tiny bit slower, but as you can see, it's not a big deal. If you want to combine, you know, filtering with minimal possible input lag, you just need to, you know, connect your pedals and cyclic base and B8 stick to the same controller, and connect everything else to another one. This will ensure your cyclic is running at maximum available speed. Although it feels fine, as you can see, it's very precise. I have no issues controlling the helicopter. So it flies great with or without filtering, so the default option will be filtering off. Alright, so that's it, guys. You can see that it works flawlessly, and I have no problems controlling the helicopter at all. It's very precise. It feels great. Springs are nice, for stream is nice. It works as good as before, but better because of softer springs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I doubt we can do it better than it is now, because it works very well. Thanks for watching. I hope you like SimShare Mark IV stuff. Please visit our wiki. Link will be in the description. We have made a lot of work recently regarding documentation and making it better. Our D community guys have helped a lot and participated in making documentation better, so that's really great, because now it's much more clear of what to build in what sequence, what goes where, and everything, and it will be a lot better with every device built. So thanks. Visit the wiki, visit the site, and see ya.